Another great Irish Open in Killarney, Michael, great success, but tell me, how has business generally been in Kerry so far this year?
I would probably say, Eamon, that overall business has been pretty good. I think that most people in the business in Kerry will report that there has been a slight increase in the levels of business they're doing. However, I want to sort of comment on that, and I want to emphasise that that means for many people that they're just losing less. It doesn't mean that we're fully recovered. It doesn't mean that there's a lot of people move back into profitability. We are still facing very, very tough times. We still have an uphill challenge ahead. But I hope, please God, for most of us that we've levelled out and we are starting the long, slow road to recovery.
Yeah, that seems to be the case, that the recovery is underway generally, although it's slow in some areas and perhaps particularly in the West. Do you get that impression that the West is not moving along as rapidly as, say, Dublin?
Yes, I do, very much. I was born and raised in Dublin, but my heart is very much in the West, and more properly in the southwest of Ireland. The product we have over here is fantastic. The product is starting to come back. But Dublin, fair play to them, primarily through reasons of there being a capital city and a major point of easy access, have run streets ahead of in the Irish tourism product. It's not a major problem for me, but I would like recognition of the fact that the West is a different animal that probably needs to be treated in a different way.
Sure. And what do you see that the barriers are to that sort of growth in the West?
Well, I think with any problem, as often as not, there's not just one particular issue. It's a number of issues coming together. Single biggest one in my mind is now and has been, and it needs to be resolved, is AOB, as I call it. Most people, when they hear the phrase AOB, think of any other business at a business meeting or whatever. For me, AOB means that access is the oxygen of business. We are an island off the coast of Europe. We're so peripheral, it's unreal. We need fast, efficient and value for money access to our major markets to make our product viable. No point in having one of the best products in the world unless we can make it very accessible for our market.
And of course, as the trend to shorter stays gets more and more pronounced each year, that makes it all the more important.
And people that are spending hard-earned money and wasting hard-earned time do not want to do it on access. They want to spend as little and get there as fast as they can, and then begin their holiday experience.
Sure. And it's of course interesting too. I mean, we certainly have plenty of airports in the west of Ireland, but I suppose it's not realistic to think that all of them are going to survive in the longer term, particularly as the PSOs get withdrawn.
Absolutely. And again, these are all issues. These are ongoing developmental issues. And there was a need for those airports maybe 10 or 15 years ago, before the much vaunted Celtic Tiger came at us and bit us wherever it bit us. But one of the great, really living tributes to the Celtic Tiger is the road infrastructure.
Sure.
And it's fantastic that we can now actually get people from Dublin down to Kerry in less than 4 hours. That's wonderful. And you know, according as that infrastructure gets more developed, as it will, and according as more and more people use it, as they will, it's logical that there's less need for airports.
Absolutely. And the domestic market, of course, that has always been important to Kerry. It still presumably is a major source of business in this
God
part
bless
of
the
world.
Irish holidaymaker. They've always been our backbone here in Kerry. I'd hazard a guess that up to 70% of all of the business done in Kerry on an annual basis emanates directly out of the domestic market, be it the leisure market or the corporate market or the niche market or the tour market or whatever. It is vitally important. It will always be vitally important. Maybe there might be a little bit of a danger that we're spending too much time on it, too much energy on it. We have to develop other markets, but we'll never take our eye off the domestic market. It's just too important.
And the product, of course, we saw the golf product over the weekend, and we know it's brilliant in Kerry generally and indeed in the West. But what about the product in the West of Ireland more generally? Is it up to snuff today? Do we need to be looking at new developments, or is what we've got what the tourists of the future are going to need?
You know, it's one of those great mysteries in life about people and their attitude to local things. And we let that little boy racer. There's a market for boy racing as well. But it's one of the great mysteries in life to me, how people treat what's on their doorstep. I could nearly say almost with contempt. You meet very few New Yorkers who've climbed up the Empire State Building.
True.
You've meet very few Parisians who've been on top of the Eiffel Tower or in the Louvre Museum. And the same in Ireland. We have so much on our doorstep. And what I think an awful lot of Irish people fail to realise is what truly world-class product we have.
Yeah.
I've been shouting all my life about niche
Yeah.
tourism, niche markets.
Yeah.
We have the world's best links golf, we have horse riding, we have hill walking, we have mountain climbing, we have cultural, we have historical, we have architectural. I don't know how many miles of coastline we have in
the
Ireland.
magnificent scenery
It's
to go
all
with it.
there.
Yeah.
And you know what? People are sort of saying we have to brighten things up or we have to rejuvenate. We don't have to brighten.
Yeah.
We don't have to rejuvenate. We have to know and understand ourselves in the first instance, and then we have to develop the product for the market.
Authenticity is the name of the game, isn't it, really?
It's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Be natural. And you know, through all the years of Irish tourism, it's 3 P's that have sustained our product, our tourism industry: our people, our place, and our pace.
Yeah.
And it hasn't changed, Eamon.
Yeah.
You've seen the shamrock being made crooked.
Yeah.
You've seen other things turn purple or blue. We've been told it's all about being big development, big this, big that. It's not.
And
it's all about the Irish people doing what the Irish people do best, which is extending the hand of friendship, the hand of hospitality, and the hand of sincerity.
Absolutely correct. And you know, it's funny, you're right that we don't say that often enough, because all the research that's done says that it is what people find attractive about the place.
Yeah.
So good that it's reached the bottom and beginning to pick, and great to see things looking so well in Killeen House. And you were chock-a-block for the last little while.
We were, thanks be to God, for the last week, as a consequence of both the August Bank holiday weekend, which in and of itself is one of the busiest weekends of the year. We had the Irish Open on top, and that was just something else.
Sure.
I believe the Irish Open last year was the second most well-attended golf event in the whole of Europe outside of the British Open. It was in Killarney last year. We had 81,000 people. I believe the preliminary figures are 85,000 for this year.
That's fantastic.
Who knows where it's going next year, but I know if I were a decision maker, I wouldn't be looking too far beyond Killarney.
Great. Well, on that note, we'll wrap it up, and the very best luck for the future, Michael.
Thank you very much, Eamon.